Hello everybody out there, and welcome to week 306 of the world's finest comic review show. And I'm going to be kickstarting this week off with not one, not two, but three books in one. And I had to do it because this week it's hilarious. I've got a 3-2-1 deal. I've got Vampirella, Army of Darkness issue 3, Onyx issue 2, and Mirror's Edge, Exordium issue 1. And we're going to start with the latter. We're going to be doing Vampirella, Army of Darkness, issue 3, out of Dynamite. This story, if anything, was definitely funny. If you're looking for action in this issue, you're not going to get that. Vampirella's on trial, and it's up to Ash to prove that she is not a witch. That's how the last issue ended. This issue is the trial, and to bring in an impartial person, they bring in Friar Black, I believe his name is. Black Friar Thomas. And he runs the trial. And you see that Sheila kind of is still angry at Ash because she believes because she didn't want to sleep with him one night. Sleep is in sleep, not sleep is in sex. Get your mind out of the gutter. That he kind of conjured this girl up, or he found this girl and things might have been going on. And Ash is like, babe, you're the only one for me. You need to chill. You are either very hot or very cold. You need to find your medium, your middle person, and stick with that. So now it's up to Ash to defend Vampirella. And basically the friar already has her pegged as guilty. He brings in this pot of boiling water, says stick your hand in there. If you come out with no boils, you're not a witch. And she's a vampire. We all know what vampires do. They heal fast. So she does it. She passes the test. He tries something else. She passes it right away. And the friar is still trying to prove that she's guilty. You've got the... shoot, I knew who it was and then I lost it. The wizard, who brings in the Necronomicon, and every time there's a lie that's said, it growls or it makes a noise. And he's just straight out asks her, are you a witch? She's like, no, I'm a vampire. And it doesn't growl. And then he's like, do you wish to consume our souls, yada yada yada? She says, no, I just want to go home. And it doesn't growl. There are some funny things that are said that it does growl, and we find out that Friar Black is actually possessed by the Deadites already. He's just in disguise. And we get a little bit more on what's coming their way in the next issue. And it looks really good, but this was a very short issue, and it really stuck to just the trial. It ends right at the end of the trial and at the end of Friar Black. Let's leave it at that. But, or Friar Thomas, or Black Friar Thomas. Anyway, moving into IDW, we have Onyx, issue number 2. And I gotta say, Onyx's artwork is really good. It's been a while since I got to read Onyx. Issue 1 came out a while ago. So now you got Onyx and the other humans looking for the spores, which are what's going to destroy the world. And it turns out that there's this really dark secret, and we see a little bit of it at the beginning of the issue, where there's a facility and there are some really dark or secret experiments that are going on there. And we don't know what it exactly is, but I have a feeling like they're kind of alluding to it with animal research. So they Onyx goes ahead of everybody to kind of get to the facility first and try to get rid of some of the mutations. Awesome fight scene in it. The group shows up. We get a little bit more about Loner in this issue also, and her powers or her ability to read minds. And she hears one of the commanders saying, Onyx is not leaving this planet. She's going to help us save the world, and then we're going to end her. She's not leaving with any of our secrets. So Loner knows what's going on, and she actually sees a lot more than just that. But the commander disappears. We get a lot of background on what I believe the what they're doing on Earth and how the spores kind of are attached to it. And we find out that one of the commanders is actually, spoiler alert here, so if you haven't read it yet, I'd wait to hear this part, but it ends with one of the captains becoming possessed by the spore. And here's some artwork, which should have been shown at the beginning, actually. Sorry about that. But Onyx is shaping up, and that's the long and short of it. I'm not going to give away any dialogue or anything, but there's really great character development here. Really nice stuff going on. Like I said, there is something that happens with Loner in the middle of the book that involves some of her powers and her abilities to read minds or to trigger something. I don't want to spoil that. Read this book. The artwork's gorgeous. If you liked the artwork that was in Lock and Key, you will love the artwork here because it's the same artist. The story's really interesting. Onyx is armor is really interesting, and I'm just really invested in this story. I hope that it sticks around for a bit before, obviously, moving off into the sunset. Unless we go on to other planets after Earth, I don't know. This was a good book, though. I would definitely recommend it. Alright, lastly is the issue 1 of the week from the indies for me, and that is Mirror's Edge Exordium, issue number 1. And in this issue, we get introduced to Mirror's Edge. We hear a little bit about, what's her name at the beginning of the book? Oh, jeez, why did it leave me completely? Wow. Her name literally just left me completely at the moment. Shoot. Anyway, it's up to her to run. She's a runner, or not a runner yet, but she has to distract these guards so that runners can go in and get information. So she distracts them. I can't believe Faith. Wow, I'm so smart. I've watched the game a million times and I can't remember her name is Faith. So what happens is, as she's distracting the guard, she accidentally brings them to this meeting between runners and this company. And what happens is she gets captured, long story short, and brought to the guy that was, that had set up the meeting. And it's this guy called Brogan, I think his name is. I think it's Brogan, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he has an artifact that her mother actually created, and she wants it, and it's her fault that he lost business, so he kind of offers her a runner's job, while the guy that she's running for already doesn't feel she's ready yet. So you see where this issue is already going. So, Dojin, I was right, Dojin. So she goes to the guy, he's like, what happened? You disappeared off the grid. And she's like, yeah, well, if I had the what do you call it, the chip, you would have been able to find me. It was a really good issue. The artwork is gorgeous in this book, by the way. It definitely reminds me of the video game. There's some artwork right there. But he decides to take her out for a bit, and she kind of gets annoyed at that. And it turns out there is a competing runners group that's starting up, and there is a race that happens. Gorgeous artwork again. And because the guy won't really move her forward, she goes back to Dojin at the end of the issue. Really good setup for the story. I apologize that names in me for some reason. But I'm really invested. If you like Mirror's Edge, and Mirror's Edge 2 is coming out soon. Mirror's Edge 1 is a really great game also. If you're a fan of the series, I would definitely say check it out. Even if you're not a fan of the series, I would say check out the first issue. The artwork's great. The story, you don't need to have played the game to know the characters, because it really does a good job of setting the entire story up for you with the first couple of pages. I would definitely recommend it. Really good stuff. Really great artwork. So these are all really great books this week that are in this review. So that's it for this video, guys. If you are interested in checking any of this out, feel free to let me know what you guys thought of any of these 3 books. This is my first group review, so I apologize if I'm a little off. I'm used to either having a show or a solo review. So any of these books, if you guys would like to leave an opinion, feel free to leave that opinion in the comments below. Did you like them? Not like them? Did you skip them? Are you a fan of Mirror's Edge in general? What did you think of Onyx? Onyx was being pushed a lot by IDW in the previews a couple of months back. And if you guys are following Army of Darkness at all with Vampirella, this is a really great crossover with Vampirella. And we also have Vampirella and Aliens going on that came out last week. So let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like. If you have any recommendations, feel free to leave them there too. And as always, in the description below, a bunch of links connected to not only myself and this channel, but ComicFrontline.com, Zone4Podcast.com, and Frontline Gaming Zone, the under construction FGZ right now. Feel free to click any of those links. Have a great time. I try to reach out into all of those mediums from time to time, mostly Instagram, Twitter. Working on a few other things on the other channels or the other sites. Those are to be announced later. So other than that, that's it for this review, guys. Until the next video, which will be coming really soon. There's going to be a lot of videos. I'm going to be stretching them out throughout this next 2 days between myself and Michael, because we want to, as soon as Wednesday hits, we want to hit week 307. So we might be bombarding you with a couple of books between today, which is Tuesday, and tomorrow, which is Wednesday. But we want to get out of week 306, and we're going to give you the grand finale tomorrow with the complete recap. So we're going to try to push Wednesday's books into Tuesday, so this way we can finish, recap it, and be ready for week 307, which we will be starting the digital books right away. Until then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you guys really soon in the next video.